Hi, how you doing, everybody? Bill Hoy back again. What in the world's going on? One is my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get the warning out to people. You know how I did 3 videos titled "America's in a dire situation." The world's in a dire situation, folks. I want to make that clear. But America, where I'm from, is in a very dire situation. And you know, these lockdowns, folks, are a massive overreaction. Massive overreaction to these illnesses, these SARS illnesses and this COVID-19 illness. Massive overreactions, folks. We very easily keep our economy going. And those who are most vulnerable to this, you know, isolate, stay home, family members help each other. I mean, there's a concept. You know, family members actually helping, you know, if one of your family members gets sick, you know, family members helping them seems to be a foreign concept to us Americans. Plus being considerate. You know, if you're sick, you know, we should stay home as much as we can, and if, you know, start feeling better, at least wear a mask so you can't spread any flu-like illness or bacterial infection to anybody else. Reduce it. But this shutting down of our entire society is an absolute overreaction, folks. This social distancing, I mean, once again, you know, if you're not feeling well, okay, you social distance, but I mean, for everyone who's feeling well, this social distancing is crap. Once again, I'm not suggesting, you know, to not be mindful of others, which I just suggested, you know, being mindful of others. And, you know, folks, this is garbage. This needs to end. It needs to end not by us crying to some politician. We need to just go out and live our lives, folks. You know, we need to just go out and live our lives. Oh, just one thing I wanted to mention about the masks. You know, a lot of people see, you know, in China they're wearing masks, and a lot of people think that for the most part, you know, there's a gun pointed at them to wear those masks, and a lot of times there is. China's a concentration camp, but and that's what these, you know, these people like Bill Gates, Henry Kissinger, you know, they want the United States to be like China and the whole world to be like China, and even worse. In China, you know, they're just getting started in China, and China's already a nightmare. But for the most part, many people in China, it's actually a cultural thing. If they're sick, they'll wear a mask because they don't want to spread anything to anybody else. It's a consideration for others. How many Americans do that? How many Americans come to work with green snots coming out their nose, coughing, and half dead? You know? Out of my face. But anyway, I just want to mention that. But folks, you know, these lockdowns, this has got to end, and it's got to end not by us crying to some politician. It's got to end by us starting to be able to conceive that, hey, you know, we have power, folks. We don't need some ruler to take care of us. We can take care of ourselves. And we need to start to be able to conceive that, you know what, we don't need these lockdowns. Let's start bringing our businesses back. There are people suffering, man. These local businesses, small businesses are suffering, man. And you need to reopen. Okay, you want to be sensible. You know, we allow a certain amount of people inside, stuff like that. I understand. But at least these businesses can just get started, at least keep their heads above water for a little bit. And really, to be honest with you, I'm telling you right now, folks, from what I've investigated into this virus, it's something that if you have an immune system, you're going to be all right. You're not going to die. You might not feel too well for a while, but you're not going to die. And it's time to get out. It's time to end this. It's time, enough of this garbage. Enough of it. I can't stand it. You know, it makes me sick. You know, it makes me sick to see my small businesses. I know a guy, who started a barber shop years ago, and he started, from his, home, and now he's built himself a business. I haven't been there in a while, but he's built himself a good business, and he's about to be crushed. These are the people that we're crushing in this country with this social distancing shit, with this lockdown shit. So sick of this crap. We need to say no more, and we need to just start going out and living our lives. Let go of the fear. Turn off the fucking television and mainstream media shit. We start living our lives. We need to start coming together in communities. Start working together with each other. That's what this social distancing shit is. That's one part of it. Trying to get us from being together and communing together. Who are they? Well, I was going to say so they can isolate us. So who are they? I mentioned they. They starts all the way up the top with these religionists in the Vatican, Mecca, and Jerusalem, and then it goes to the central bankers, the banksters, the corporate CEOs. We're getting down into the Bill Gates area and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and then we're getting down. The next rung goes to these politicians and these oligarchs, and it goes down to their order followers, and it goes all the way down to us following their decrees, and these order followers, the police and state and local police, enforcing this stuff. And once again, I'm all for being sensitive with a virus, but I think enough is enough. It's time to start taking this America back, man. I mean, it's time to start, for us Americans, ourselves, to take this country back. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm just talking about let's just go about our lives and live our lives and work together. I'm not talking about violence. I mean, look, man, I'm so sick of these little boy guns up. Yeah, we're going guns up. Yeah, you're going guns up, huh, little boy? You're going guns up, huh, little boy? Well, where the fuck have you been the past 30 years? Huh? Little boy with your fucking gun. Take your gun and ram it up your ass because you're a little boy. All these little boys. Yeah, we're going guns up. The next thing they take from us, it's on. It ain't on. It ain't on. You're going to go and crawl underneath your bed and stick your fucking thumb in your mouth because you're a little boy. Shut up about that gun shit. Go run into a voting machine like a little boy that you are. All these little boys talking about how they're going to go guns up. They don't even have the guts to stand up to their fucking supervisor. So please, as you can tell, I'm really sick and tired of all these guns up Americans. And don't misunderstand me. There are a lot of Americans who are really people who are really do have the courage to stand up. They are out there and who have guns and stuff like that. So don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about all gun owners here in the United States. I'm talking about most, though. I'm talking about most. Going guns up. Where the fuck have you been since 9/11? Where have you been? Where have you been? Sucking on your thumb. Run into a voting machine for your savior. Donald Trump will save us all. You know what, folks? Let me tell you something. I am absolutely not advocating for guns to be taken from anybody. But you know what? I'll really be honest with you. Sometimes I really think that these little boys should have their guns taken from them because they shouldn't even. You shouldn't even own a firearm if you're such a fucking coward. Really. I mean, if you're such a coward, you shouldn't even own a firearm. But once again, I'm not advocating for anybody to get their guns taken away. Let the cowards have their guns. You never know. Maybe if there is a revolution and the revolutionaries start winning, maybe they'll decide finally, to get enough courage as soon as, soon as we revolutionaries have won the war, maybe they'll get a little courage to come in and give us a little boost. Cowards. You never know. But once again, folks, let me just be very clear. That whole spiel about the revolution, I'm not calling for violence at all, folks. And let me tell you something, folks. Once again, all these little boys with their guns. Second American Revolution. Let me tell you something. These little boys have no idea what they're dealing with. Okay, you got an AR-15, you got an AK-47. Your local okey doke police department has armor-plated fucking 50 cals, armor-plated Humvees with they have the 50 cal mount, but you know that 50 cal ain't far behind. And let me tell you something. Have you ever seen a 50 cal? What a 50 cal can do? Let me tell you something. You would, the very sight of it, as soon as you heard it, you'd be shitting your pants and wetting your pants and crawling into a fetal position. And I'm not trying to say that I'm some big tough guy and that I wouldn't be scared. If a situation ever came up like that where I was in some kind of a revolutionary battle, I probably would shit and piss my pants. But you know what? I would at least continue on. I would. Not probably. I would. I'm sure I would piss my pants, shit my pants. But once again, see, a war like the American Revolution was fought based on consciousness. Those men knew what they had to do, and they knew what was right, and they knew what needed to be done. And that's a whole different animal than just being thrown on a battlefield and having somebody tell you, hey, those guys are your enemy, go kill them, and then all of a sudden the bullets start flying and everybody starts pissing and shitting their pants. And that's not what this is about. So I would probably piss and shit my pants too. I probably would. But I've been preparing myself mentally for that, and I know that I'm just going to continue on and do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I'll tell you something, folks. Something like that ever did go down, I plan on sticking around and trying to really do something. I don't just plan on sacrificing myself or something. I plan on sticking around. I plan on sticking around and trying to get more, trying to take as many people out as I can. And once again, folks, I just want to be very clear. There's nothing that these, the theys would love more than to see all of us killing each other. They'd love it. They'd love it. They could, instill martial law, not natural law. The theys, many of them do understand natural law. They just pervert it. But martial law, they would establish martial law, and that's exactly what they would want. That's exactly what they would want. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton would be kicking up their feet, relaxing, having a drink together, while we all kill each other. They love it. They love it. So I understand. I'm not calling for any revolution, folks. I'm not calling for any revolution. I'm not trying to incite anything like that. But I will say this, folks. At some point in time, we're really going to have to make the decision whether we're going to allow ourselves to be completely enslaved or whether we're going to say no, and when the enforcers come to force us to say yes, have to fight. And believe me, I'm scared. I'm scared. I really am. I'm scared. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is going forward and doing what's right despite your fears. And this is a real scary time, these lockdowns, folks. That's why I'm not calling for violence. That's another thing. A lot of idiots that I talk to. Bill, he wants to march on the State House and take it over. No, I don't, dumbass. Stupid moron. I want to walk away from the State House and just do my own thing and live my life and not harm anybody. And as long as no one tries to harm me, fine. You know, live in a together community where we work together. That's what I'm all about, man. Not about marching on the fucking State House. Fuck the State House. I'm all about just saying, who cares what they do? Who cares what they do? I'm not concerned about them. That's what this is about, folks. This isn't about, you know, like these guns up little boys. Yeah, guns up. You know, little cowards. I'm talking about just walking away from this, folks. Just talking about walking away, and I'm talking about us Americans walking away from this lockdown and bringing back our lives and helping our small business people and let's start up our lives again. Let's at least start to conceive about doing that. Start, you know, thinking about, hey, you know what? We should maybe just start our own lives and not wait for orders from headquarters. Let's just start our own lives. I'm telling you right now, folks. I mean, folks, and as far as what I'm going to do things are going to get much worse. You know, mandatory vaccinations in some way, shape, or form are going to be coming down in some it's going to be started some way, and you know, possible quarantining, stuff like that. You know, these are all things. I mean, this is coming. This fifth generation internet technology. Look into that. It's very dangerous technology. This 4G technology's nasty. I just looked over to see if my Wi-Fi router's on. I don't sit in front of that Wi-Fi router, folks. I'm telling you right now, folks. This Wi-Fi is really fucking bad for you. You got to look up the studies for yourself. The numerous studies. You know, you could go to Gary Null Progressive News. Go to the Gary Null Show and look up some of his archives. He names a lot of studies on this electromagnetic radiation. Plus, a guy named Derek Brose did a huge, really good article on 5G and electromagnetic radiation. And folks, I want to let you know, 4G, this 4G's, we're swimming in electromagnetism, and it's really bad. And you know, plus these climate engineering operations contribute to this whole thing. The microwaving of the atmosphere. Look up these HAARP facilities. These ionospheric heaters, they're called. But anyway, let me try to just stay on point here and just, you know, this has been a long video, and I'm probably just gonna have to make another one because I don't know if I have the space to really get this on. But I'm telling you, folks, you know, once again, you know, I'm calling for us Americans to just start living our lives again. And enough with this lockdown stuff, and let's start to conceive of just walking away from this. And let's start living our lives. Let's not let our small businesses crash. Let's not let our neighbors suffer. Let's not live in fear. That's all from me.